Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever you are out here in our Venom community. We got a lot of different time zones. Lately, we've been asked a lot of questions like how do I grow my stream, how do I entertain, all types of things like that. So we decided to do a little YouTube video on a little interview of some of the questions y'all asked and how we would answer them towards y'all, so we could answer as many as we can at one possible time. So one of our main questions is how do you start out streaming, or how do you gain traction from nothing?
I'd say this is a good question, honestly, because obviously a lot of us are coming from nothing or we're just starting up. The best way is getting in these communities. That's the reason why we created something like this, is so that people can network. Because networking, especially out the gate, is huge. You want to be able to communicate with people, build relationships, and that's how you build those followers. If you post something on Twitter, like let's say, for instance, I'm going live in 20 minutes, and you just hashtag small streamer connect or all these other hashtags, or you're adding people. Now, what that does is sure, you may get a like, you may get a retweet, but what's going to happen is it's not very organic. It's not something where people are going to just see it and they're like, okay, let me just go tune into to so and so. You didn't build any value in that. So don't get me wrong. It's not that it's not producible at all. It's just you need to be able to build relationships. So by getting in these communities, for instance, the one that we're in now, you should be able to network, communicate with people, get them to know, like, and trust you. Because at the end of the day, if they start to know you, what's going to happen is these people are going to become more engaging with you. They're going to want to know, when do you stream? You're going to ask, when do they stream? You're going to start building that friendly relationship and that support. You create a support group, and that's what fans are, is a support group. When you start building that, what's going to happen is it's going to grow. It may not grow to 100 viewers, but what it's going to do is it'll give you 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. And before you know it, you're up there. And that's the thing. You have to build these relationships. You have to start person by person, and you're not going to get much by just posting a link, because you're not putting any value into your stream. If I were to go to Billy right now and I'm having this conversation with him, and I'm sitting here and I'm talking about, himself, I'm like, so how's your stream going? How are things going with your stream? When can I tune in? He's going to want to support me as well. Some people won't, but most people will. And that's just how you build fans. That's how they build fans. And the more that you do that, the more that you grow.
Okay, so networking is a big key, as you can see. So, like, do you have any tips or tricks they can do in these discords or things like that to help gain those supports or those relationships that you're speaking
Yeah,
of?
for sure. Honestly, like, just talking. Like, how many people in this Discord, for instance, we're just gonna go off of ours just as a base. That go into our community and they're just like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? How is, what you're doing by doing that is you're getting to know people. You're getting to build a relationship with someone that you may have never reached if you weren't in this community. So you may get another fan, and that fan may turn into multiple fans. And streamers help each other, especially small streamers. Because say you've built a really good relationship with some streamers, and say one of those streamers gets 10 to 15 viewers every time that they go live. Well, you've built a good relationship with that streamer. So maybe a couple times a week they send a raid over to your stream. And now you have a chance to basically sell yourself, your personality, and who you are as a content creator to these new viewers. But all of that was built off of the relationship that you made in that community. Now, tips in that and how to do that is just simply, you know, being involved, being engaged. No one's gonna bite. That's the thing, is you want to be able to ask how people are doing. You want to be able to ask, when are you going live? Stop in their streams, talk to them, ask questions. Remember, you don't want to ask dead end questions. So you don't want to ask questions where it's, there's no good response to it. You want to keep the conversations rolling. So when you're talking to people, you can do that. And the best thing is too is playing games with them. The more streamers that you can find games that you can play together, that helps as well. It gives that common interest as well.
Okay, how much more effective would you say building a relationship in this community is, much rather than just dropping your link and saying, hey, I'm live, come view me?
Value. Because here's the thing. You drop a link, it's a link, bro. Like we all have links. Like everyone sees links, you know. But if I see a link dropped by someone that I've had a conversation with, someone that I've interacted with and I've engaged with, and I'm like, wow, she's a really nice person. Like she seems to, like I'm attracted to her content. Like I really think that like I want to go watch what she does or what she's playing, or what she's talking about that day. I'm gonna click on her link, or if he's telling me like, I follow for follow. Yes, those are good if you want to just build your follow, but those aren't organic. There's no value in that follow. You need to be able to get people to follow you, but because they genuinely enjoy you. You know, if they don't genuinely enjoy you and enjoy your content, the follow is just a number. If I have 50 followers and you have 150, and my 50 followers tune in every time I go live, and say only 20% of yours do, I still technically have more viewers and I have more of a dedicated base. So you need to be able to interact and make these relationships with these followers, and actually value every follower. Dropping a link or a follow for follow is a very lazy way of trying to improve your following and your content. And that's one thing I really wanted to get, because I know I do see it a lot in the community and stuff like that, and I understand we do need to get to Twitch affiliates, so we need a certain amount of followers. I completely understand that. But beyond that, you really got to focus on the relationships, because that's the only way you're going to get this off the ground. You're not going to get it off the ground by just going follow for follow, or tune into my Twitch because I need a certain average of views, but not really engaging with those viewers. So that would be basically the idea behind that.
So pretty much just saying you want them to build their own community, to like
Yeah, yeah, for
make them
sure.
want to feel welcomed and be there. Like they're a part of something bigger than just watching you play the game.
Yes, and that is what Venom is. If you've noticed, what it is in Venom, this is a community. We are here to help. We are here to help everyone build, and we also want to build our brand as well. You know, and that's the thing, is you are the same thing. You individually are a brand. You know what I'm saying? Treat yourself like a Kmart. I know Kmart's out of business, but treat yourself like a Walmart. Treat yourself like a Target. You know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself that value. Don't sell yourself short. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, you're putting yourself at the bottom and you're being happy with being at the bottom. Take the time. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Build up that following, build up these relationships, and then you'll see a drastic growth. And that's my point behind that.
So now we got our networking out the way and how to build a little bit and things like that. What would you say are some key pieces you need for your stream that could also help improve viewers? Like what kind of setups do you maybe like? How important is our face cams and things like that?
Honestly, and there's a lot of mixed reviews beyond this, and I'll kind of give you my opinion to it. So I think face cams are super important, and there's a lot of people that think face cams are super important. It allows you to put a face to the personality, to the voice, so that you can actually see and interact with that person. It's not just a random background voice to a video game screen. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's content. People want to watch the game too, right? But a lot of the games that we stream, for a majority of small streamers, are games where they need to be able to interact with us. So the best way of interacting with someone is being able to see them. Obviously, this isn't something that we do in person, but we do know that you can build easier rapport in person than you can over the phone with someone, right?
Yeah.
So when you don't have a face cam, it's almost like you're on the phone with someone and you're just trying to build rapport to that person. There's nothing to see. You can't see their facial expressions. You can't see if they're having their energies up. A lot of body language is important in communication. So when you take face cam out of that, you're almost selling yourself short again by not, allowing your viewers to see who you are. And I know it sucks. Sometimes, we're like, damn, bro, I don't really want a face cam. I'm just, like, I just don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, if it's going to improve your stream, if it's going to improve your brand, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here's another thing. Don't wait. Don't sit there and wait for all your stuff to come in. And you know what I'm saying? Because that could take months, that could take years. You could put that off forever. Do what you can now and roll the ball every time. Whatever. 1 week, I'm gonna add one new setup. I'm gonna get a mic. After that week, I'm gonna get a webcam. After that, I'm gonna make sure I got my whatever. You can get your Elgato, whatever. It's just build your product, your brand up week by week. Don't just put it off and be like, nah, I'm not gonna stream because I don't have my face cam yet. I don't have this. I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Just get the ball rolling.
Okay, so now we're set up everything. We got our setups, everything like that. We've networked. How do we determine like how long I should stream or when I should stream?
That's a very good question because it's based around your schedule. Like, if you have the availability to stream more, then stream more. If you don't, and say it's 2 to 3 hours, and that's your stream time, that's fine too. But I'll tell you where the hole is in both of those. It's your schedule. You need to have a very on point schedule because by not, you don't have any organization for your fans to come see you. You know, say I'm a fan of NBA The Jump, right? But one day it's on at 4 p.m. and then the next day it's on at 2 a.m. midnight. But I didn't know when the hell it was coming on. As a fan, how do I know when to go watch my show? And you got to remember that as a streamer, as a content creator, you need to set that schedule for your supporters. They need to know Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm on at 7 p.m. Tune in. I'm gonna be on. Like this is my show. You're tuning into me. You know what I mean? But if you just randomly go live, and I'm just going live because I'm going live, I feel like playing right now. What's gonna happen is that you're not allowing yourself to build a consistent base. Because you may have streamed one time at 7 a.m. and you picked up a 7 a.m. follower, but now you're always streaming at night. So they're never watching at that time. You know what I mean? Like, so they're not going to be able to communicate with you. So now you just lost that follower. Now you lost maybe a dedicated fan.
Mm.
So be consistent with your schedule. Make sure that you're on when you're on. And that's the thing. It doesn't have to be 10 hours. You don't have to do those streams. Just make sure that you're consistent in what you do. And also make it super accessible for your viewers. Like all your stuff should be posted on Twitter. If you have a Twitter, if you have a Facebook, whatever your social networking is, all of your stuff should be on there. Your schedule, where they can find you, where they can contact you, any information possible needs to be super accessible. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, viewers, as a fan, it's like, the thing is right then and there they're engaged. They're like, man, I want to know when this person's gonna be streaming next. I want to know, like, but if they can't find you and they have to work just to find you, they're not going to want to do that. You have to make it as easy as possible for these supporters so that you can, it's just like, it's just in a flow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, I found you. Okay, cool. He's on at 7. I know what I'm going to lock it in. Know he's on. You know what I mean? That's how you do that. But if you make it to where you can't find your socials, you don't know when you're streaming, it doesn't look, and nor does it help you. So that would be my take on that.
Okay, so now we do have people. They know when we stream. We got a good base. All that. How do we pick our right games? What game is the right game for us to stream?
So, and this is a very interesting question. You get it a lot because people want to stream games that they love, and a lot of times the games that they love are very highly saturated games. So highly saturated games meaning like, okay, let's go just pick off the top of the list. You got League of Legends, you got all these different games, Overwatch, you got all these games, Fortnite, and they have so many viewers, right? But the thing is now you have all this streamer to viewer ratio. Now the streamers, the up top streamers, are collecting such a high amount of those viewerships that it's hard to really get noticed, at the bottom of those lists. Like, you got to scroll down for about 10 minutes so you can get to the bottom. And that's where us small streamers start. We start down there. So it's hard to get noticed when you're down here and you got all these other streamers that are up here. So you're competing with it's literally like, you're competing with just Megatron right now. Like, it's not possible. You're not going to win. So don't don't try to put yourself up against those people. What you can do is find other content or other genres that you're still very good in. Because here's the thing, you still want to be good at the game that you're playing, but you also want to be have games that are interactive too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's certain style games like Minecraft. The reason why Minecraft is always really big, I'm not a crazy fan of it, but the reason why it does help streamers is because you could story tell with that. People can relate to that. Like you, it's there's more stuff for them to get into. You know what I mean? You got to remember, people are there to watch the games, but at the end of the day, they're there to watch you. You know what I mean? I could click Minecraft and I can go and watch the 10,000 viewer guy, no
Mm.
problem. But why should I watch you, the two viewer guy or girl? Why should I watch you? You know, you need to be able to think of it as yourself, not so much as the game. You're selling yourself for your content. You know what I mean? So you got to pick a game that's a little bit, that's less saturated. Not at the bottom, but something maybe middle of the road. Enough that where you can get yourself noticed a little bit more. Like say where they have, 8,000, 5,000 views type of thing. And then on their list, when you get like 15 to 20 viewers, you're going to be one of the first streamers that pop up when anyone clicks on that gaming title. So you want to be able to put yourself in that position because you're never going to be in that position if you're competing with all these big Megatron type of streamers. You need to put yourself on a platform that you can compete in. And then from there, you build that base, you do all that. So then when you do decide to play another game, they're going to watch you play that game. You know what I mean? They're fans of you. There's plenty of content creators we know that hop from game to game to game to game
Yeah,
and still have 19, 30,000 views.
the
And that's
community.
it's their community. They're building their community, their base. You know what I mean? So don't think of it so much as, oh, I'm not playing a game I love. No, you can still find games that you like and that you're good at or that you can be interactive with. Find stuff that you can play with Twitch viewers with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you find a game that you can grab your viewers and they can play with you, be interactive. You want to be able to do that. And the best thing to do is just to find less saturated games.
Okay, as we're talking about less saturated games here, how big is it to jump on a new game, something new that's coming in?
Huge. I know it's hard too sometimes because a lot of the bigger streamers will also get early releases. So it is hard too, to an extent. But if you can get yourself on a new game, like pay attention to releases, pay attention to these new game releases, and then jump on them. If something hits, something hits, and then it works out really well. That's how a lot of streamers have blown up too. It's just based off of being the first ones on the new game, and then they were able to have all these viewers. Sure, they still had to do the work. They still had to communicate. They still had to build that value for them to be there, right? But the thing is that it just gave them a boost, and that's a
Yeah.
good little boost you want to catch. So yeah, definitely. Always pay attention to new gaming titles that are coming out as well, because it's going to be a lot easier for you to jump on that train. You know what I mean? Right when it's coming out, as opposed to later on when there's already established, content creators for that game. There's always new games coming out, so just be aware of that.
Okay, so now we got everything. We got our schedule, we got our stream set up, we built our network, everything like that. We picked our game, we're ready to play. We're there. We're in the moment now. How do we get everybody engaged? How do we keep everybody into the stream?
Okay, and this is one thing I've noticed just by popping by a lot of streams. I know a lot of us have noticed as well is be engaging with your chat. If you're not checking your chat, especially if you're looking at your chat once every 4 to 5 minutes, you lost people already. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you already have, say you got up to 7, 8 viewers, right? And there's two people talking in your chat, but you take so long to respond or acknowledge them, they're out. They're moving on to the next streamer that's going to talk to them and acknowledge them. Remember, you're building relationships. Yes, you're playing the game, but you're also building relationships. And you can't build a relationship if you're not present. You know what I'm saying? So it's being interactive, asking questions. Like if someone's in my stream and they're telling me, or whatever, if they're in our org stream and they're just basically like, how's your day? We tell them how our day is, but we also ask how their day is. You want to ask them questions, not just them asking you, because they're not going to care enough to just keep asking you questions. You have to interact with them, get to know them. Why are you here? Do you stream also? Ask these questions, build that relationship. Do you play this game? Okay, when's the last time you played? Oh, awesome. Do you want to play sometime? It's just interaction. It's building that value. The more you can talk to your chat consistently and still play the game and do what you have to do, the more you're going to retain those people in your chat, the more you're going to retain those viewers. Because it's super hard to leave a chat when they're constantly talking to me. When they're constantly talking to me, I can't. I feel like a jerk if I leave the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to sit there and listen. Like, oh, he's going to respond to my question really soon. Like, I have to respond to him. So, and that's what you should do. That's how you keep them engaged. But if I feel like you're not involved or you don't care about the stream itself, the people that are coming in, then why? Why would you do that? That's literally like going to a fast food joint. You're going through the drive-through and they tell you to come in the front door, come pick up the food. And you don't talk to nobody. You just go pick it up from the front door. Like, no, like interact with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Like, you need to interact with your chat. You can't just let it go. And the problem is a lot of streamers, they're so focused on the game. And that's not a bad thing. Obviously there's different styles of streamers, but as a small content creator, no one cares about the game right now. They care about you. So you need to be that person. So just get in that motion, get in that groove, and try to start working on that to keep them engaged.
Okay, so as small streamer, we're gonna have times where we have no viewers in the chat or very low. Nobody's talking, nobody's watching. But do you have any tips or tricks to how to keep that energy like you're streaming to 1,000 people, even though there's nobody in there?
Well, honestly, you got to remember your goal. Like I said, no one's forcing you to stream. At the end of the day, this is what you want. If you want to be a streamer and this is your goal and this is something that it makes you feel happy, then show that, express that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember that you're still playing games. You know what I mean? You're still playing games. You're interacting. You're able to be social. You know what I mean? You want to be that social butterfly in your own comfort of your own home. You know what I mean? So you need to treat every stream, every view as if it is 1,000, and don't pay attention to the number. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could easily put a piece of tape over your number of views. You don't need to see it. It does not matter. You need to treat it the same. When you treat it the same, all that stuff is going to come into play so that when you are viewing for 10,000 people, it's going to feel like you were when you were viewing for one, because your energy doesn't drop. You keep that energy, you keep that same flow, you keep that same motivation. But you're going to grow a lot better too, because you're going to make them feel like it's important. You're going to make them feel like, holy crap, I feel like I'm a part of a huge group right now. It says it's only me, but I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, you need to make them feel that way. And you're going to honestly grow really quickly if you can do that. So,
As we wrap up our interview, we've answered all the questions we've asked for the most time. Hope this helps everybody in our community or not in our community. Maybe you want to join to be able to learn some more tips, stuff like that. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We hope it helps everybody grow
yes.
and become better streamers.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Have a good one. Oh, easily. My throat is dry.
God damn. How long?